The Morrie's Automotive Group is out here today with the all-new 2016 Hyundai Sonata as well as the Mazda6. What I'd like to do is show you around the interior, the exterior, and then give you a driving review to help you pick the best vehicle that fits your needs. So this is the 2016 Sonata Limited with the tech package. What this is going to give you is a 2.4-liter GDI gas direct injection motor. So what does that mean in regular terms? You're going to get great fuel economy, you're going to get a ton of reliability, and it's going to be fun to drive. Now the Sonata is a little bit different. They've kind of kept this same design style through most of their models now. You're gonna get the really cool LED headlights and taillights. As well, this one does come with a panoramic sunroof, which if you haven't had one before, it really opens up the inside of the vehicle and looks great. So now on the other side here, we have the 2016 Mazda6, and this car's been very well and highly rated, and I can see why after spending a little bit of time in it. Similar to the Sonata, you have the 2.5-liter four-cylinder, which is going to get you 40 miles per gallon on the highway in this particular trim. This is the Grand Touring, so you're getting a ton of that creature comfort stuff, which we can show you a little bit later. But overall, you're going to keep that Kodo design style up front with the unique LED headlights. And as far as the design and overall look of the car, it's, very close to the Sonata in that they're both very good looking. It kind of comes down to your preference of what you're looking for. As far as packages, as far as equipment is concerned, both are going to give you a ton of equipment for not a high dollar cost. All right, so now we're behind the wheel of the 2016 Hyundai Sonata. First impressions, this car is way different than the previous generation, and that is a good thing. It's really, really quiet. I know I'll say that, I'm sure, about the Mazda6 as well, because that car is notorious for having a really quiet interior cabin, but this one is also awesome in here. You have heated, cooled seats. They're all power and adjustable on both sides now, which was a huge complaint of the previous generation, is that seat was a little low, but now you can move it up again. As far as the infotainment system, and the center display, they're both really easy to use. This one has a split screen now, so your radio can be on one, you can have the clock like I have now on the other, or else you can use your Bluetooth or your telephone. There's so many different things you can do in these cars. It's just amazing now. Not to mention all the safety technology that you get. There's a ton of new safety equipment on all these vehicles, and of course that's always a good thing. The blind spot mirrors, so these mirrors you can see really easily out of the side, and as well they do have a blind spot detection. So if there's someone kind of hiding behind where you can't see, it will notify you. Again, lane departure warning, there's all that different stuff that you can go through. Not to even mention just having the controls on the steering wheel. I know it's been around for a long time, but most of the stuff here is voice activated, whether that's answering a call or changing the radio station even. There's so many ways that you can keep both hands on the wheel and stay focused. So how is the drive besides being really quiet? It's fun. This drive mode, you can go between an eco, a sport, and just kind of your regular mode. Eco gets you a little better fuel economy, or sport lets you have a little more fun. You can kick it over to the side here, and that's going to allow you to shift through the transmission as freely, kind of as you want. And not that you're going to use it every day, but maybe once in a while you do a little spirited driving, and it's a little fun to use. The way the dash is laid out in the center, really clear, easy to use. It tells you your range in there. You can switch between your different trip settings, and then you have a digital speedometer, which I'm a huge fan of. That's something I could definitely get used to having, where, not that it's a huge deal, but one of those everyday things that it's nice to have. There's not much more you can say about this car splitting it from the competition. Of course, all the new 2016s are nice. They're all going to be reliable. They're all going to be comfortable. One big thing from Hyundai is cost of ownership. At a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, they seal these transmissions, and you're not monkeying and jacking around with it for 100,000 miles. That is, saving you money, and that's a huge thing when you look at cost of ownership. Maintenance, how reliable is it? These cars are great through and through, and I think it's definitely a competitor in this segment of vehicles. All right, so now we're in the 2016 Mazda6. First impressions when you sit down, it's like the CX-5. These seats are so comfortable in here. and you do have heated seats as well, which is nice in the Minnesota winters when it gets really cold up here. I mean, I know I said the same thing and I knew I was going to say it about this car, but after spending time in it, it's so quiet and it's so comfortable. I mean, it really feels like this could compete with some of the German sedans, which are a lot more money. I mean, it's got, when you put your foot down, for a 2.5 liter, it gets up and goes, and it gets you 40 miles per gallon on the highway. Those are crazy good numbers from a full-sized, almost sedan. I mean, this is a big car, and that's almost subcompact fuel economy of a couple years ago. But, I mean, day to day, you gotta think, how are you driving this car 90% of the time? Whether that's maybe sitting in stop-and-go traffic, or if you're doing highway driving, city driving, it's gonna be comfortable no matter where you are. If you want to do a little sportier driving, you can move this over, put it into sport mode, and use the paddle shifters, and it turns into almost that zoom mentality Mazda's always had. This is a fun car, and it's a big sedan, but it's going to do pretty much everything right. The steering has kind of almost a heavy feel to it. I don't want to say it is heavy, but it feels substantial. It feels like you're driving the car. It doesn't feel like an electronic power steering is taking over and doing things that it's not going to leave you in control. That's great for wintertime driving as well, because you want to feel comfortable, you want to be relaxed, and you want to be in control. Other things, again, this one is very well loaded up, so you've got your kind of the adaptive cruise control where you can set a length in front of you on the highway. You don't touch the brakes, you don't touch the gas. It's going to do most of that driving for you. As far as the Mazda, I guess, inside layout, everything is super easy to use. There's nothing that's confusing or hard to find. You have your music, your home screen, your volume on the one side. You can mute it if you need to yell at the kids in the back. But, I mean, overall, the screen is well placed. Everything just lines up how it should be. Now, as far as cargo space in the back, you have a ton of trunk space and then a 60-40 split rear seat. So if you are going away for the weekend, or if you're going to throw your snowboard or skis in the back, you are going to have plenty of space for that. You know, I mean, there's not much more you can say. Like I mentioned before, the Mazda6 has been winning a ton of awards and all these different accolades. And after spending so much time in these cars, I absolutely get it. I get why they do that. And that's because it's comfortable, it's quiet, it's reliable, it's fun to drive. It does everything you'd expect it to do. And it doesn't carry a huge sticker price along with that. So, I mean, as far as the competition goes between this and the Sonata, it really just comes down to preference. On behalf of the Morrie's Automotive Group, thanks for watching our overview of the new Hyundai Sonata as well as the Mazda6. Now, if you'd like to schedule your test drive, you can call, click, or stop by your nearest Morrie's dealership today. Thanks again for watching, and make sure you buy happy.